good news and bad news. I said, give me the good news first, then bad news. So he said, she's shooting an ad campaign with Malika Fan Masala, and she's okay to work with me as a stylist because I was the only Indian makeup artist from my time who did hair, makeup, costume styling, and a look consultation. So he said she's okay to do the clothes with you and styling, but she has her own team of hair and makeup. I said, okay, screw her, I'll go and meet her. These are the words I use. And his assistant, Mr. Ravi, saying, Ojas, I know tu usko pata legi. I said, dekhte kya hota. I go to meet her, I do a fitting, then I go the next day again for a trial. She doesn't even speak about makeup. She had her ego up her ass. I said, fuck you, bitch, even my ego's up my ass.
Hello everyone, Kem Cho Kasakai. I hope all of you will be in Maja Ma and welcome to another episode of The Girl Next Door, जहां हम बातें करते हैं दिल से दिल तक. I'm your host and host and your girl next door, snehakashyapthakur, and today I'm thrilled to have you join us in this amazing episode. This podcast is all about sharing stories and celebrating life. And it is also about celebrating those incredible journeys and inspiring lives of South Asian trees. So let's get ready for another engaging and uplifting episode today as we dive into another heartfelt story on The Girl Next Door. Today's episode is very, very special for me because it's an impromptu episode. Norms, our guest today is a remarkable individual who has made significant strides in the beauty industry while also breaking barriers as a transgender woman. Beyond her work has graced the faces of some of the biggest stars in Bollywood, be it Sri Devi, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Priyanka Chopra, my favorite, Deepika Padukone, Katrina Kaif, Malaika Arora, Shushmita Sen, Raveena Tandon, and the list goes on. And you have seen Asia's richest man's family, recent wedding. She has done their hair and makeup too. You name it, she has it on her list. Today, we will delve into her journey. Her journey about resilience, authenticity, and the power of self-expression. From facing societal challenges to becoming a beacon of hope and inspiration for many, her story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Her journey highlights the importance of embracing one's true self and the impact of representation in the media and beauty industries. If you Googled right now, who did Urmila Matondkar's famous hair and makeup in Rangila in 1995, you will already know whom I'm talking about. Today, we are honored to have Ojas Rajani with us to share her incredible story, insights, and the valuable lessons she has learned along the way. Please join me in welcoming the remarkable Ojas Rajani. Ojas, welcome to the Girl Next Door podcast.
Hello.
How are you?
So finally we made it, darling.
We made it. We made it. Thank you so very much for joining us today. And thank you so very much for making it such last minute.
It's a pleasure, always.
It's a pleasure for us. I can't tell you, like, I have only seen you in movies, interviews and TV interviews, and I never thought that I would ever interview you.
Oh my God.
Okay, I know your journey has been truly inspiring. Very few people know that you taught the ICWA exam. You were a CA before, and then you became a makeup artist. And you have done your makeup and hair course from Miami, USA. I mean, tell me about it, that from being a CA to being the top makeup artist. Share a little bit about that. Your background, what led you to pursue this career?
Sure. So basically, I was a very glamorous kid from childhood. From the time I passed my 10th standard to be a model, and I used to own my own money. So my parents, somewhere down the line, were very proud of me that, they knew I was effeminate. I was very creative. I used to do, dressing up the house, dressing my mom, my sister. And they realized I was very focused as a kid. I was in school, in my gymnastics, maybe it's an elocution competition, singing. I was very confident, though I knew it was a feminine pansy. People try to, play name games with me, but I never gave a shit that time, and nor do I give it now. And I think that's the way one should be, right? Because trolling happens all the time from childhood to you become big. There will always be people opinionated, but you know what you are. I mean, the world bows down to you.
Yes.
started modeling as a kid, and I think I made my parents very proud. That from the time I passed on my 10th, I never took a rupee from my parents. And I remember we used to go to college in, on Mercedes that time with my driver and everything. And people used to bite their fingers because whoever tried to put me down was, oh my God, this bitch is coming like that. And one fine day, I think my father, one condition was that you do everything, but I want you to finish your chartered accountancy. And I did, my CA and became a topper. And I worked as a CA for 1 year. But that 1 year has been the most awful year of my life because, a corporate background is so boring, desk job, it's so unglamorous, you have to dress up very formal. And that time I think homophobia was at its peak. I'm talking about 31 years ago. I'm like, Papa, I just can't do this. This is not me. He's saying, okay, no problem. What do you want to do? I said, I want to become a stylist and a makeup artist. I enrolled in the Miami School of Hair and Makeup. I did hair and makeup and I did costume style. They teach you everything. They teach you how to create an entire look from head to toe. And they teach you etiquette. They teach you styling, everything. And I remember I came to Bombay on a holiday and I went to meet one of the top photographers showing off, oh, this is what I've done, that's what I've done. And luckily, when I was in Miami, I got a chance to work on the Baywatch series with Pamela Anderson and Brandy Rodriguez is a known name in Bollywood as well because if you know, called Out of Control, which was shot entire New York and Europe, which I did. So I remember when Brandy came to Bombay, she told Vashi Bagnani, the producer, that I know one makeup artist, that's Ojas, and I only want her to do my makeup, but I don't sign the line. And imagine she asked for me, and I was so lucky enough to do that. And the photographer who I met, he said, Ojas, Urmila is looking for a makeup. I said, but no, I believe she's very high-handed. She's saying, no, we just go and meet her. And I remember I went to meet her with my full bag and my, equipment and my hair extension, everything. I was very well equipped from day one. And she was so impressed. She think, Ojas, I've heard great reviews from the photographer. And Manish Malhotra was a common friend. So he said fantastic things about you. And looking at you, she said, I don't think I need to worry. Pack your bags. We leave in 3 days to Jaisalmer to shoot that song, Hi Rama, if you've seen that song.
Oh my God, I have, and everybody.
Sultry makeup is so my style, if you know what I mean. Pale
Yeah.
glam, sex goddess kind of a look. And she fell in love with me from day one of the movie. And after we did back-to-back film, Dor, Janab Chabja Karo, Mast, you name the movie. Then even her last movie, which was Karz with Himesh Reshamya, if you've seen that, song, Tandoori Nights. So I really killed it all. And when I was doing Urmila's film, I got a call from one of the ad agencies, production, saying, we're doing a Coca-Cola ad with Ishwarya. And would you be free? I said, are you sure she doesn't need to meet me before? Saying, not at all. I again go there, same thing. Anna Singh, one of the leading designers, doing her clothes. And again, it went through very well. So she asked me again, Ojas, I'm doing this movie, that movie, are you interested? I said, okay, no problem. But I said, I want my business class ticket. I want my same room, same hotel as you, because I'm not one of those makeup artists who, stay in a trashy hotel and you go and stay in one big 7-star hotel. She's saying, don't worry, the producers know about you and you're on. Because that time, Bollywood had two kinds of makeup. One was the vernacular Marathi speaking makeup artist, and one was the gay makeup artist, which were us, to be very honest. And the gay makeup artist had the advantage that we were all very trendy, English speaking. We've seen the world around. We would always try to kind of reinvent our style, browse through magazines. That time there was no internet, there was nothing, no YouTube. I think today's generation is very lucky they have anything ready made on their plate. But that time we put the Raddiwala, Raddiwala used to sell these old magazines. So we used to take, info from all these foreign magazines, try and practice the look, try and play with product because there were no high-end products in Bombay, if you know what I mean. My mom used to travel, so she'd get me Max Factor and Yardley. And that's what I started with. And today I'm so proud to say that Max Factor knows my whole story, that I've used their products throughout my career with all matters, that today they signed Priyanka Chopra as their brand ambassador and me to do their hair and makeup for the campaigns.
Oh my God, when I read about it that you have done Priyanka Chopra's makeup, I was like, that was again a fangirl moment because I am a huge fan of Priyanka Chopra as well, and Priyanka Chopra and Shushmita Sen. Like I really look up to them in a lot of matters. And when I saw that you have done it, I was like, dude, can I get an interview? Can I get an autograph?
Came to New York also because remember when she ran the flag hosting for the 15th of August in Jersey? And
Mm-hmm.
it all come that time as well. And we keep on doing these world tours, where these actresses perform. So we've done in Dallas, Houston, New York, Jersey, Canada, everywhere. So in fact, America's been very close to Priyanka also because she studied here.
Yes, yes. That was amazing. That was amazing. Growing up as a transgender, and I think you declared that you were a gay in the early 90s. It's not a lot of fun. It even today, after so much that has been said about the Pride mission, Article 21 is legal, yet many LGBTQIA individual continue to face that rejection from their families. Can you share your personal experience regarding?
Think your family loves you, the world doesn't have the balls to say anything to you. That was my case because my mother was a lioness. In fact, just one gaze of her was enough to shut people down and make them pee in their pants. So my
My God.
I remember when we used to stay in town, a lot of people tried to criticize me. And I think one fine day she just gave them such a dirty look and she kind of gave them a shouting for lifetime. They never had the balls to say anything about me. And luckily, that's what motivated me so much because I think when you've gone through so much, ridicule in life, you always be. So I was like a horse with, blindfold. I said, this is my problem that I'm gay. I cannot do any bullshit about it, but I'm going to show the world that this person can be right on top of the world and be so successful that going to be a slap on your face. And that's what my mother used to always tell me that you're successful, going to be a biggest slap on whether it's your cousins, your friends, everybody. And luckily, like I said, I was always a born kid, but I was very good at everything that I did. I think my mother said, "Whatever you touch is gold." So I think it's all her Brahmakumari blessings and her blessings that my parents gave me. And I think they gave me the best of education, the best of everything that I bought my first house at the age of 25, which is like a very big risk
Wow.
thing. I know that during the time when I was in the 10th standard and I declared that I'm gay, it wasn't very easy on her. But my mom's brother and wife are doctors, and they explained to the whole scenario that you can't do anything about it. Though she did try to take me to a psychiatrist, a doctor, they all said the same thing that, sorry, ma'am, but this is the way every child is, born like that. You cannot change anything about me. You cannot take them to any babas or anything and try to kind of. It's not some bimari that you can cure. Like sometimes
Exactly.
Ramdev Baba for saying that being gay is a bimari, it can cure it. I challenge that old fart. We can even do anything about it. But just
Yes.
talk like.
I wish people understood this.
Imagine in 2024 people talk like that. I think they need to go back and go into an ashram and just lock themselves up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think people still don't understand this. It's
That all the gays, whether it's a Manish Madhuka, they're all so talented. They're all doing so well for themselves.
yes,
If I
yes,
look back at my cousins from my father's side or my mother's side, I think I've topped them all. I lived in
yes.
a plush high-rise building in Bombay. I've made myself very proud. And I think I lost my parents, unfortunately, 2 years back because COVID. But they went very happily in my arm. They said, we have nothing to worry because we know you're the best child and we always want to see you again. So I have some
That's so sweet.
memories of my parents. So I think that says it all.
Yeah, and you're right that a lot of people, like the beauty industry and the fashion industry and the film and media industry, accepts all forms of gender very openly, but the same is not true across the board. When you look into the society, it's not the same, and people do have a lot of judgment and a lot of misconception around different genders. Like normally people will think man and women. When a woman stays as women and is a lesbian, people don't notice it. But when a woman becomes a gay and then she comes out, people starts noticing it. So I have a question for you here, that there is still a lot of misconception about what it means to be a transgender. So in your life, in your journey, what are some of the biggest myths or misunderstandings you have encountered, especially within the South Asian community?
So luckily, I would say I've been very blessed that I've not faced any rejection or ridicule as per se, because even the school that I went to was a Cambridge medium school, so people are very loving. Till date, I meet my school and college friends, and they're very proud of me. But like I said, once you're successful, it hides all your flaws. And like I said, academically, I've been a very sporty kid or a very good student, study wise or whatever. So it wasn't so difficult. But yes, there were some people who would boycott you. Like I remember when I was in college, I used to be a very handsome boy. I used to model, like I said. And there was one very good friend of mine, Kara Frid, and she was actually in love with me, which I didn't know. And when she came to know, she slapped me. I said, but babe, did I even ever tell you that I'm straight or whatever? But love, that's your problem. I'm like an open book. Then I remember my mom's friend's daughter wanted to marry me, and we used to go clubbing that time. She met some guy friend who told her to me, and she was still not believing it. After that, she stopped talking to me, stopped seeing me till I met her 2 years later, and I was like, babe, sorry, but I've never given you the inclination. I've always been a flamboyant kid. I used to dress up like with loud colors. Like if you know Yash Birla from Bombay, he's one of the Birla tycoons. So he and me from the same college, same class, and he also was very high maintenance. He also dressed up a little too flamboyant and whatever. But I guess this is the way it was. But luckily, because I used to model, or because I was in the advertising background, or because I was into Bollywood or whatever, somewhere down the line I was very shaded. And I think my actresses, my colleagues, somewhere down the line were very loving towards me. Though I remember I had a very bad experience with Channel V. There's a production guy who tried to act smart with me, but luckily I was a bitch who went and complained about him. I went to the top officials. I said, I don't need your job. Shove it up your ass for all you care. I said, you know, you're not paying my bills. I said, don't worry, I have enough money, but this is not the way I'm to take shit from you.
Bring that, how do you bring that kind of, that kind of fierceness in you? I still don't have it. Like, a lot of women don't have it. How, like, was it because you?
Because I realized nobody's paying my bills. Why am I going to take crap from them? And luckily, like I said, so when I was in Channel, we all the top VJs, right from Meghna Reddy, Sophia Huckman, Preet Brar, Ruby Bhatia, Jag, they all stood for me because when they came to know this was happening, they all stood for me and they made sure he got thrown out. Anytime if you tell everybody, I'll make sure your salary's cut, I'll do this, do that. I said, you do what you want. I don't give a damn. If this job goes, I'll find 20 other jobs. Because I knew I was standard. My father was a very smart businessman. He was the one who made me quit because I was working Channel for 2 years on a salary. And I was getting an X amount. And then while working with Channel, we got one or two freelance jobs, which paid me for 1 day the same amount which you're getting as a salary. So I think, you stupid fool, throw that job up there. So luckily, very guarded by my parents that they gave me so much of love and support, which I really miss them till today's day and age. I mean, but I feel them guiding and, being there as a guiding light and an angel throughout my days, I
I
mean,
think coming from a traditional Gujarati family, having parents who are so supportive of you, who were so supportive of you, and who have been so supportive of you, even when they are not in their physical bodies on the earth. I think that's a blessing. What do you want to say to the parents who are not as supportive as yours?
if you're not going to understand your kid, the world is going to eat your kid. And then you'll say, oh, my kid become a drug addict, become this, become that. Because when you really don't get find love at home, you always go hunting for that. And people have a misconception that gays are promiscuous or gays are all the time bhatko, bhatakte rehte hai. It's not the case. If everybody was a gay and was bhatkoing all the time, who was not focused, if you see the stories of every gay, every makeup artist, every designer, to everybody, every creative person is gay, and there are so many silent gays, closet people who are also behind the scenes doing so well and rocking it. Do you understand? So
Yes, absolutely.
when your family's supporting you, I'm not telling the parents that let your kids behave obnoxious. But today I live in a high-rise building where all the who's who live. I've seen straight kids start up your mom, shut up your bitch. The other day with an 18-year-old kid who wanted to confiscate his mom phone. She said, "No, shut up, give me time." He threw the phone on her face. She got a very jaw hurt. She had the fracture. If this is what you call as straight kids, I'm very happy I'm not a straight kid. So many straight kids leave their mom. They boycott them today. My mom and dad left very peacefully because they was to live with me. I gave them the best of everything, and they went in my arms. I think I have the most fondest memories. And look at the blessings. My parents left me in 21. In 22, the Dior show happened in Mumbai. Suddenly that came into my lap because I was just praying for a daily. I used to look at my parents. Suddenly I get a call for the Dior show. This year in March, the Miss World happened in India. If you saw it all on my Instagram, they must have interviewed all the makeup artists, but somehow when I met them, they said, we've Googled, you worked with Priyanka, Aishwarya, Katrina, all the Miss Indias, whether it's Lara Datta, whether it's, Selena J. to Neha. They're saying, we don't have to look elsewhere. We've looked at you. We're fine. Sign the dotted line. And that came as a blessing in disguise. So I always feel I'm a destiny's child. That thing just happened to me. And I don't even have to beg for it. Like Neeta Ambani. I mean, her work I'm doing from 10 years. I just now went to Italy for the cruise. I went for the wedding. In fact, I did the last day of the wedding of the 30th. And then I went to Panama to another wedding. Look at irony of no, good luck. Like my sister lives here. My sister is the husband, and she live half the time in Dubai and half the time here because their kids living here in Houston. And they had planned a holiday in March, saying that we're going. Would you come? I said, no, I'm going to manifest that I get some wedding. Suddenly, out of nowhere, in 20 days, I got a call from one of my ex brides who were done in 2018 in Panama again. Her sister was getting married, so she called me saying, "Oh, you're coming in July for my sister." I said, "Okay, fine, but I want my ticket to Houston and Dallas." She said, "Done." So look at me. I don't even have to ask for anything. Things are just falling in my lap.
Yes, absolutely. I think, you talked about something called I was manifesting, and I was thinking about it. And this is my favorite topic to talk about. Manifestation has become such a huge thing, and it is
But
being
we have
talked about.
testing from the time we've grown up, me and my sister, because my mom followed Brahma Kumari. So you must try this. We call it the Amrit Vela time, 3:30 a.m. Just meditate for 5 minutes at 3:30 and just ask the universe what you're wishing for. Is something bothering you, whether it's a relation, money, finance, peace of mind, lack of sleep, and things just fall. You get an answer to every question of your life.
Guys, This is a message from Ojas to all of you that if you really want to manifest 3:30 to 4 a.m., try using that time, manifest your wishes, talk to the universe, and you will get your answers. Right?
Story of it, like I said, I'm a living example, and we've been doing this from donkey's years, and we're so happy with it. Like I said, like straight kids, sorry to sound rude, but they don't want to, like today, whether it's Mumbai or abroad, don't want to live with their parents. The daughter don't want to live with the in-laws. Today, at least I was a good kid that I lived with my parents. I gave them the best of everything. They didn't have Mediclaim also because they were Gujaratis. They never believed in buying.
I know.
I worked my ass off to make sure they were comfortable, they were happy, and today look at the amount of blessings they've collected. I think you earn your blessings by doing good karma, and if you've done good, trust me, comes in leaps and bounds. The bonus is multiple times. When you invest good things, only good things happen to you. And look at me, I'm the living proof of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. My next question is, you talked about family, you talked about living with parents, you talked about values, and our South Asian culture comes with a lot of tradition and values, and which often emphasizes on the importance of having a family and marriage. How do you view these concepts in the context of your own life and identity?
I think, especially in India, the most beautiful moments are to being with your parents because I remember I've been traveling. I've done more than 15 world tours. Sorry, I'm not trying to show up, but I've worked with so many actors, actresses that every 6 months there's a world tour, there's this. So I remember, and plus I travel so much for work. If you see, I run a hair and makeup school in Bombay. So I've had seminars in Hyderabad, Delhi, all the cities. Like I land Bombay, the next day I go to Hyderabad. Again in 3 days I go to Raipur, then I go to Kolkata. I'm always on the go. And my parents are like my children because when I go home, I'm showing them my goodies and, oh, what did you get? What chocolate you got? So I think that was such a lovely bond. And somewhere down the line, I sometimes still cry down when I go home because I'm only with my two staff members alone at home. I live in a huge penthouse, but at times you miss them. But luckily, my brother-in-law and my sister and their kids are also so fond of me that they keep on chatting with me every now and then. They don't make me feel lonely. Somebody or the other always visits me every 3 months. Like right now, I'm there with them. They're coming back in September to me. So I think that's a very good conscious effort that they make. But living with family has been one of the most prized possession of mine because I think when you're with your family, trust me, no lover, boyfriend, wife, husband means as much as precious as a parent. Or what a parent would wish for the kid, nobody in this universe is going to wish. So
Have you been in a relationship where you have seen the difference of having a family versus, having a partner?
definitely, 100%. And in fact, I gave up my partner because my partner lives in Brazil. In fact, he was one of the architects with Ritz Carlton, and he was in India for a while. But he wanted me to move, and I'm so happy I didn't move because that's the year when I lost my parents because of COVID. So I feel that's what even they respected me for, though they were not selfish. They knew about him. But I'm very, very happy that I chose over because I'm made more for Bombay. Because we're spoiled somewhere down the line. We have our drivers, our service, plus it's a little more secure life in Bombay because I've always been there. So for me to move to America, like my sister's kids want me to move, I said, no, I'll keep on coming every 6 months or whatever you want, but I can't move back because I love my work too much in Bombay. I'm a
Got
worker,
it.
enjoy my.
Got it. I'm gonna shift gears here a little bit. We have talked a little bit about your personal life, your values, and your faiths. Now I'm gonna go and shift towards your opinions on certain important matters around the transgender and the LGBTQIA community. We say that media plays a very, very significant and pivotal role when it comes to representation and uplifting a particular community or a particular subsect in the society. So, what do you think, or how do you think media can improve in portraying transgender individuals more accurately and sensitively? And what role do you think representation of transgender plays in industry? How important it is that transgender people get themselves represented?
So basically, I think Bollywood is somewhere down the line responsible for demeaning also transgenders. Like I'll be very blunt. There's a difference in English what a transgender, difference in India. In India, transgender means hijra. So we are not right. I'm a gay who loves to look like a girl, loves to dress up like a girl. So when you exchange become like a woman, you do not become a transgender, you become a
Oh
trans.
my God, this whole concept of
So trans or trans people say it's hijras are different because that's the way they are born.
right.
And nowadays there are a lot of society, a lot of Rotarian clubs, everybody who are bringing and uplifting the transgender community, also making salons for them, making factories for them to work. Even they now have a passport, they have their bank accounts. But in Bangkok and America, if you see transgenders, they're different, right? They're not hijras. Do you understand? But because in India, this is what is taught to people, so that's why they say chakka hai, jida hai, this is the way.
Does it bother you when you hear these kind of terms?
Not really, to be very honest. I think I'm way above all this shit, so it doesn't.
Not for you. When you hear it, people saying this
No,
out loud to others.
down or educate them sometime, but sometimes even like we do a live Instagram, there are some idiots who kind of join. So they say chakka hai something, something. I say, darling, must be your father. Give it back to them. So then they come back. Touch me first. Show in the mirror that look at yourself first.
That
But it
was
has to be like
amazing.
that. I'm sorry, nobody's coming in. Like transgenders in Bombay are people who beg on the streets. But today, even there are a lot of communities who are uplifting them, teaching them not to beg. But then
Right.
there are beggars, normal beggars, also straight beggars, also women beggars. There are also people who are such fraudsters who want to rob kids and then they just bring kids on the signals to make money and they're all rented kids or whatever. So there's a lot of nonsense going on.
Yeah.
That really bothers people. But what bothers me is that if I've spoken to Karan Johar also about it, that you yourself are a bloody faggot and then you try to show or demean gays on movies, which is not right.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
Why can't we show them in a negative way? Why can't we show them in a positive way how successful they are?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And
I love Madhur Bhandarkar for that. If you see the movie Fashion,
I have seen it.
and he's made the whole picture so perfect, and he's put everybody on the same respectful platform. Not that
Absolutely.
then and he's like that or whatever. It's not like mockery, but some Bollywood directors make it look like mockery, which is bad.
Yes. Yes, but now films are doing much better job at representing each of the each of the genders which are present in the society today. The films are doing a really nice job in representing them. I have but even though films are trying, I still think that in the South Asian household, discussions about sexuality and genders are still avoided. Like, how important do you think it is for parents? Because you had wonderful parents, right, who supported you. How important do you think it is for parents to have such kind of open conversations with their children about these topics? And what advice would you give to the parents around these conversations?
First of all, sexual education, the most important. I think now a lot of schools also have started kind of sexual education in their subjects also. But I think also when kids are growing up, I think their parents have to have a heart-to-heart talk because today a lot of people have got suicidal. Like I remember just a few months ago, there was one Instagram guy who was gay and he tried to dress up like a girl and did some stuff and all, and he got so badly trolled that he committed suicide in the night. So I think
Absolutely.
happening because the parents are not kind of, even if they're aware, they're not comforting their kid or not trying to shelter the kids. So I feel instead of having that embarrassing moment, open up with your kids, and even the kids, I would tell them that try and take support from your parents because you need an outlet, right? You need your frustration, your sorrow, whatever feelings it may be, or somebody touches you as a kid, you need to tell your mother that this is the way it was a feeling, or this is how it was. That's what I used to go and tell my mother everything. Like my sister used to tell me, my mummy, I'm a mummy's chamcha. But I'm very happy that my father mother gave me that feel where I could talk to them and make them understand what I'm going through mentally, physically. So I think that's very important to all the parents. I beg all the parents out there, please understand your child because I have two of my best friends. She's just lost a son who was a drug addict from the past 10 years. And I've been telling her, darling, you need to improvise. She's been sending him to rehab, but nothing because he wanted just that love and support from the parents. I have another friend, she divorced her husband. So the child had taken it very badly. He committed suicide just last month.
Yeah, and we forget like the most important thing in life is, life. Than gender, than what your inclinations are, than what your thoughts are. The most important thing is that are you alive? Are you living your life? Are you there on the earth to enjoy all these material pleasure?
Like, why do you always look at the black side of life?
Yes.
Like, I to be optimistic, be positive, only think positive because that will happen. I think what you so is what you read. When you think positive, you okay. Like I remember when I used to go for my exams, I used to read my study book just as a story, but go with flying colors, and I used to be so confident. How did the exam go? I said, wow, fantastic. And when I went for my CA exam last day, friends of mine made fun of me saying, oh, just I think your name is not on the notice board. So when I went there and I said, oh, fuck, my name is not. But then I was very positive. I said, no, how can it be that I've done 93 in this paper? I've done, and I said, my name has to be. And suddenly I look right at the top of the right hand because they showed me I've topped my college. Can you imagine?
No, that's what I said. Very, very few people know.
No, I'm telling you, every when people go for an interview, When you go for an interview, if you're positive, you'll get the job. Like I went for the Miss World. I remember I was so positive. I was like very friendly, like not even nervous at all. And that's the thing. That's what we loved about you.
I think that is the attitude I had when I messaged you. I was like, I'm gonna go and reach out and I'm gonna see. I'll see what happens, but I'm gonna at least reach out and I'm gonna at least message and find out that if she has time, even if there is 15 minutes, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna switch gears here again, and I'm gonna switch to your career side of the world. So as a makeup artist who is so skilled, who has made her mark in the beauty industry, you also started at some place like that, where there was that was your first job, first thing, and you talked about it. What were some of the initial challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them? You talked about the Channel V, but besides that, as a makeup artist, what are some of the initial challenges?
Earlier, Bollywood was very heavy in their makeup. Like, see, I've trained in Miami. So we always used liquid foundation, very minimal base on the face, very dewy skin used to look like skin. Whereas Bollywood was predominantly very heavy, pancakey makeup.
Yeah.
So that took me a while to kind of, I remember Urmila has a little open pores and eventually saying, no, but I'm only comfortable with, pan stick makeup. I said, okay, let's do one thing. Let's do half side pan stick and let's do liquid base one side and let's see how long it lasts. She fell in love. He saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful that the makeup stayed flawless." And because when you wear less makeup, it stays beautiful. It becomes like a layer of skin. But when you wear heavy makeup, there are cracks. Same thing, like I said, being positive. Why I'm saying this all the time, being positive, manifesting good. I'll give an example. We all go through our challenges. I've worked with, like, when I got Devdas, Hamdal, Jodha Akbar. That is the time I used to always watch MTV Love Lines of Malika. And there used to be a show called MTV Grind. Every Sunday used to come in the pool where Malika is on the pool ball and having a blast with all the latest, Hollywood music. And it's always
Okay.
the whole goddamn world. How can we not have got a chance to work this diva? And suddenly got a call from one communication called Palette Communications, Optimistic Will, Sanjeev Sharma. And he's saying, oh, just have good news and bad news. I said, give me the good news first, then bad news. So he's saying, we're shooting an ad campaign with Malika Fan Masala. And she's okay to work with you as a stylist because I was the only Indian makeup artist from my time who did hair, makeup, costume styling, and a look consultation. So he said she's okay to do the clothes with you and styling, but she has her own team of hair and makeup. So I said, okay, screw her, I'll go and meet her. These are the words I use. And his assistant, Mr. Ravi, saying, oh, just, I know tu usko pata legi. I said, dekhte kya hota hai. I go to meet her, I do a fittings, then I go the next day again for a trial. She doesn't even speak about makeup. She had her ego up her ass. I said, fuck you, bitch, even my ego's up my ass. Cut to we go for the shoot the next. Then she comes to the team, they do her hair and makeup, which is okay. We go on the sets at 11 a.m. and it's a 3-day shoot. And the cameraman is Mr. Anil Mehta, who's one of the most renowned cameraman, of that time.
I've heard of.
So he's saying, oh, just maza nahi aa raha. I said, maza kaise aayega? Maine makeup nahi kiya hai. He's saying, what are you saying? I said, no, see, there's that team is there of theirs. He's saying, so can you go and tell her to improvise it and whatever? So the director was shitting. He's saying, oh, just I don't have the balls. Can you go? So I told Malaka, can we go in the makeup room? So I go in the makeup, tell her makeup artist, she needs this little bounce in her hair. You need to blow dry because, hairdressers in Bollywood are very lazy. They can't blow dry properly. So she didn't do this blow dry. And even the makeup, like Malaka has very pretty features. I said, do a little contouring in the eyes, make it look more glowy. It's looking too white, cakey on camera. So she lost her head. She said, what if you know it all? Why didn't you do it? So I also said with the same tone, I said, okay, and wash your face. This is how I get it. Washed her face that day. It's been 20 years today. She washed her face, let me do her hair and makeup. We went on the set, everybody cheered her loudly. Cut to at 2 p.m. She tells the makeup artist and hairdresser to go home. They literally must have abused me, I don't know how many languages. I stopped them and said, see, abusing me is not going to help. You have to improvise your work and I have not thrown you out. This is the call taken by the production and the cameraman, right? They didn't like your makeup, period. So I guess
Yeah.
what meant for me and what
You have to be good at your job. If you cannot do
yeah,
your job,
100%. You can't go on a job and screw up. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. And if there's someone better than you, and then they deserve a chance. They
Yeah, and
definitely deserve a
was
chance.
positive. I was optimistic. I knew I got it. And also, I always tell people be focused, be on time. Just being talented is not enough. Like I know horror stories where makeup artists ditch people. I'm sorry, I'm going to start crying if I say this, but my father expired on 4th January in the morning at 8:30. Okay, I went to the hospital with him and Sanita said he's no more. I came home bawling out and I had a bride at 11 o'clock. And my sister lives in Dubai, so my sister said she'll only reach in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. My mom hugged me saying, no, just go for your bride because that was Papa's dream was. I go to do the bride. I do eye makeup, lip of the head. She saying, oh, just leave the rest. Your team will go. She gave me a hug. She said, God bless you. And till day that bride keeps in touch with me. She's from America only. Then I did my dad's funeral in the afternoon by 4 o'clock. I went home. I cried my heart on my mom's arm. And then she knew I had a flight at 8:30 p.m. again to go to Baroda to do another Gujarati bride. That's how I have worked. Like I've made my money, but I've worked very hard for it. And that's why I love, value my money. I value people. People value me for that. My cousins, my sister, they all know that I've come the long way. Nobody's come and given me anything in my lap. So I guess when you love your job, when you're a perfectionist at your job, when you have OCD about your job, you are going to be successful.
Yeah, and tell me one thing. Why do I always see women becoming this badass women and, taking ownership of their areas and taking charge of their life only after, only when they reach 40 or nearing 40? Why does this happen?
I guess when they're young, they're not very serious about their profession, or maybe the people take things easily, right? When you're young, you take things more, you're not serious. But I think after 35, people, kind of understand responsibility. They understand that they want to be kind of a working woman or a whatever, career-oriented woman. And I think then that's how they get successful, right? Because nowadays, even marriages are all a sham. If you know, every 100 marriages, out of that, 80 of them are getting divorced or they're living, but it's a marriage of convenience. It's so sad, whether it's India or abroad. So I feel now people are, especially women, have become very strong that they are kind of taking the rein in their hand, that they equally want to work, equally want to make their money, have a career, which is very good. Earlier
Yeah,
days,
yeah, absolutely. And
and I think the
how do
men
you
would
think?
respect more when you're a working woman than be sitting at home.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think I have seen, like, in my life of 35 years, I have seen how my own opinions have changed, and I have become more headstrong in a lot of things at this age versus what I was at 30. So, uh, as your identity, like, how has your identity as women influenced your work and the way you connect with your clients?
I think from day one, I think I hit it well with women, whether it's school or college. And then, like I said, whether it's Urmila or whether any of my actresses, there was a matter of comfort because when we're doing makeup, we're touching them here, there, or whatever, they're changing or working long hours, it becomes more like a bonding. Where with a straight guy, it's a little difficult for them, to be very honest. Also, sometimes women understand each other, mood swings, or sometimes certain, physical problems. Somebody's chumming, somebody's having this issue, that issue. So, you understand each other. And I think women are full of emotions, if you know what I mean. Happy emotions. And so we're always connecting like minded people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very easy. And I think there's a lot of love out there from everybody. I know all my.
How do you connect with the physical aspects of another woman? I mean, you as a woman don't go through charming, right? You as a woman don't go through those mood swings because it's a very feminine thing that is built in your body. So how do you connect on those aspects?
I guess you have to understand a person, right? Today, supposing you and me are friends, and sometimes you in a bad mood and you may snap at me, you cannot hold personal grudges, right? Whether you're a man, woman, or whatever, people have their mood swings, right? People had a night, they're constipated, they've had some emotion outburst, somebody said something to them, or whatever. It could be a financial issue, lack of sleep, hormonal issue. Forget that everybody nowadays has a new disease called PCOD, where it's a guy or a girl. So that again has so many of these repercussions. So I guess you have
Yeah.
to understand, and I think life has taught me so much that the more you give is the more you get. The more love you get, the more happiness you give. So that's what is all about Brahma Kumari knowledge that we follow from childhood, me and my sister. So I think that's made us somewhere down the line a better person in terms of understanding, in terms of dealing with situations or with family or whatever. I think I was so much in love with my parents. My parents were like my babies. If somebody else was there in my place, they would have committed suicide. I was so kind of gone in the 13 days we have the Terva. After that, I told my sister, I don't want to, work anymore. I don't want to do anything. I was too sorrowful because it's the biggest loss of my life. I think nothing else can, replace but my, because like I said, they were my pillar of strength. Everything, I'm telling you, I still feel the pain very badly. But I think because we follow Brahma Kumari, because I had a lot of love and attention from my family, it's kind of brought me out of that. Otherwise, I know so many people go to depression, this, that. And the best thing what my Brahmakumari teachers said is that Mummy always wanted to see you shining. And the best thing what they've taught me is that जो भी चीज bother कर रही है, I have my father mother's photo in my bedroom, bedside table, in my living room. Saying आप उनके साथ बात करो, speak to them whatever it is, and trust me, things are just falling in place so well. I can't tell you.
I'm really sorry about your loss, Ojas. Losing parents is not easy, and nobody is ever ready for that. But I just want you to know that they are always there with you, and they have been blessing you. And with this, I want to understand, like, what have your some of the most rewarding experiences been, like, since you have started your career, especially in the context of what are you very proud of, and what are some future aspirations which you have right now?
I'm very happy that I'm on Academy because I remember when I wanted to train as a makeup artist, we didn't have anything really special in Bombay. And today I run my academy from 14 years in Bombay, so which is a very big blessing in disguise. And I'm so happy that so many people can reach out to me from various cities, various countries. Like just also my course starts on the 12th of August. I have a girl come from New Jersey, I have a girl from Dubai. I've had makeup seminars in New York, in Miami, in all cities of the, India, everywhere. So I think every time something or the other is always happening, one good job leads to 20 other jobs. Like recently I done something in March in Hyderabad that got me, I'm going back to Hyderabad again. When I land Bombay on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, I'm in Hyderabad. Then 9, 10, 11, I'm Raipur. So there's a constant thing. So I think the very good thing is that, there's an indirect blessing. Like, today you learn makeup from me. You may not thank me on my face. But because when you learn from me, it's a guarantee that you learn so well that so आप जब कमाने लगते हो तो आपकी पेट की दुआ मुझे लगती ही है. That's what mummy used to always teach me. That if you made somebody happy because if you somebody started earning, imagine some people they are the bread earners of the family.
That is such a beautiful thought. That is such a beautiful thought that, you're sharing your craft with others so that they can have a living.
Yeah, and you should not be insecure. I know a lot of people still feel insecure, make you sick, how many trick you, they count. I'm sorry, it's not that. Like I said, the more you give, the more you get. And Brahma Kumari has this lovely, very nice song, Karte Chalo Sabka Bhala Jeevan ke Jeene ki Yahi Hai Kala. So it is very true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you do good, it comes in abundance. I've seen my sister also, she's been a very good, daughter-in-law. She's also, very big officer of Sanctuary Bank, but she's done a lot of good things in life and it to her in leaps and bounds. So I always feel when you've done good, I mean, the universe gives it to you in multiples.
Now that we are talking about universe and it giving back in multiple folds, I want to touch a little bit on your religious beliefs. You talked about Brahma Kumari, and we all have these strong religious beliefs which we carry forward in our life, right? So from Brahma Kumaris, tell me a little bit about Brahma Kumari, where you have so much of faith in, versus your identity, your journey. Has there ever been any conflict? And how has manifestation, talking to the universe, and Brahma Kumari all aligned in your life? Like, when did you start believing in it? How did
So
you became?
Kumari from my birth time because mummy followed Brahma Kumari from my birth time. And that time also, I remember we used to have school at 7:30, so mummy used to wake us up at 5 minutes to meditate and go to sleep. Or whether we go for an exam, we see Brahma Kumari is not about idol worship. It's all about, feeling that the Lord is the supreme soul, is a form of light, Jyoti Bindu Swarup. Whether it's Christianity, Muslim, सब लोग बोलते हैं Allah Noor hai. God is a form of light. So we've always identified with that. And I wear the Shiv Baba's ring also, see, all my life. I mean, this has protected me every time. So I feel from childhood, whether it's, kind of not asking, but whether it's wishing for this or wishing for that or whatever, we have just learned to manifest. We've never been greedy, mummy, ye chahiye, mummy, wo chahiye. Before we asked, it used to come to us because we manifested our vibration reached mummy. See, it's all
Do you
about
believe that the vibration of
it's all
things you want?
in every way. And plus in being good. Like I'll tell you what, supposing I'm a school kid and I know that you're a bully kid. And if I send you vibrations of negativity, Salah Harami, iska Satyanath, ye wo, that means I'm aggravating you more. But Brahma Kumari teaches that, but supposing somebody's hating you, you tell them, okay, God, make that person happy, give him peaceful vibrations, give him more than me. And trust me, that person slowly, his viciousness will come around. And he may not be your best friend, but he'll be a neutral person towards you,
Got
which
it.
I very much. And like I
Got it.
feel a lot of friends who learned makeup under me, and a lot of they were also best friends, and now they don't talk because both of them have become makeup artists, whatever. But today, I remember my students who learned from me 15 years ago, and he's doing very well. He called me up the other day that I've lost my parents, and now I realize that, I used to be so insecure about, but now I know exactly how it is, because he started focusing on his work or channelizing, his inner strengths. I feel it's always to channelize your inner strength. All of us have our strength. We just have to tap on it. Right?
These days we hear of
Go to Ambani's house so often. Now, I cannot always think, "Arey baap re, wo log ka itna ghar hai, mera bhi aisa ho." Yes, you manifest, God will give you more, but I think live happily, have gratitude. I think in life is being optimistic, being positive, and having faith and gratitude. When you have that faith in you, things happen. Faith can shake mountains, right?
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And don't wish bad for anybody. Don't use swear words. Don't have any negative aura, because क्या होता है, Brahma Kumar teaches you that आप अपना environmental clean रखो. When I wake up, I just tell God, please cleanse my aura, cleanse my chakras, give me a halo of protection, make me only think positive, right? And what is Brahma Kumari's knowledge about his five vices? पांच विकर्म क्या है? Calm is
क्रोध,
lust.
हाँ, काम, क्रोध, लोभ,
Ahankar is what? Ego. And Krodh is anger. So calm, Krodh, Lobh, Moh. Moh is what?
attraction to the material things, like
Attachment.
we get attached.
Yeah. So when they're not saying that leave your family and be detached, that is all a myth which people spread around. But it's all about making your person or aura be strong about these five vices. The minute you conquer these five vices, you know how to deal with situations. You do not become shaky. You do not become nervous. See, situations will come, right? But if you're panicky and all, you don't know, you may mess up. But if a situation comes and you know there's a wave coming and you know how to smoothly ride over that wave, you're fine. But if you're going to panic when a wave comes, you're going to drown. So
Yes,
situations will come in life for everybody, even for Ambani's or us. Everybody goes through their grind of situations, right?
yes,
And you should know how to deal with it and never think negative about it, right?
yeah. Thank you
Like
so much for sharing that.
also, she went smilingly. I remember because dad had gone, she couldn't deal with it, and we took her to the hospital because she was a little serious. That and the doctor said she's keeping only saying what is going to happen to Ojas. I'm worried about her. And trust me, she knew she couldn't face me. So imagine she had turned her face and gone into a semi coma until the Brahma Kumaisa said, "Ojas, the time has come. Please bid her goodbye. Whisper in her ear that Mom, I'll let you go." And I whispered in her ear. Trust me, she was like this. I sent you a video. And when I said, "Mommy, I'm letting you peace," her head just shake, and then she was gone into peace. So I feel without the to make them go happily, that they know that you're okay to deal with the situation. And like how you said that, yes, they're always there around us as a guiding light and a spirit.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I am sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Fine. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So I feel, yes, that is what life is all about, right? See, situations will come, challenges will come, but if you're going to know how to handle them, and if you're going to be positive about it, things will happen, right? And insecurity always kills you.
Yeah. Okay, on that insecurity note, who is your favorite makeup artist from Bollywood right now? Or from Hollywood?
I think everybody's right now, touch wood, doing very well in Bollywood. I think because there are so many new avenues, new opportunities, web series there, movies there, TV there, shows there, fashion there. So I think I would not, it'll be very impartial to take one person, but everybody is rocking it, killing it.
But somebody who you really whose makeup you're always excited to see.
I don't think it's fair to take one person name, like I said, because everybody is doing so well, touch wood. So I wish well for everyone, because it's really nice to see that so much of inspiration. And I tell them also that it's so easy for you all right now because everything is ready made on the click of a button on YouTube, on Google, on everything. And even for people who've kind of maintained their, spirit for 30 years, like I'm doing Herbik from 30 years, I know some of my peers who think have, slowed down in life, or maybe work is not happening so much for them. But I somewhere down the line call them, I ask them, "Are you all okay?" I wish well for them. Because I feel like, see, we get 20 calls in a day. I cannot accommodate everybody's dates because suppose if I'm free for but I always pass on the work. I never be selfish about it. Or sometimes people cannot afford you. So then I give it to my team, I give it to other people also because like I said, they are so happy. I always feel life में अगर आपने किसी को recommend किया, किसी को help किया, तो आपको भी कोई recommendation call आता है, help call आता है.
बिल्कुल.
That recently I had done something like that, and suddenly out of nowhere somebody called me. I said, "How did you get my number?" She said, "I just Googled you and I found you." So how did that come suddenly?
Yeah, yeah. And just see it today. Like how
I
did
found me on Google.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we connected. I just
Well wisher of mine, she loves me to death. It's like that. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I think sometimes with brides also it becomes like family friend. Like just also came to Panama. I've come second time in that family because first daughter got married in 2018. The second daughter got married. Now she's saying my third daughter will see somebody. So maybe that also your wedding will happen in a year and a half. So I think
Yeah, I mean, so today, I think a couple of days back, my friend's picture actually popped up, and then I saw makeup by Ojas Rani, and I clicked on your, Instagram link, and then I thought that I'm gonna message you, and it happened. So probably it's a good karma where I have recommended somebody, and that is coming back to me in some or the other form. So absolutely, absolutely, you talked about touching base with all your peers and making sure that you stay connected and you keep in touch and you check on them. And that brings us to our last question of the day, which is mental health. Mental health is often, a taboo topic in again in the South Asian culture. We don't want to say that, okay, I'm depressed, I'm not feeling well, I need a psychiatrist, or I need to go and have therapy. What message would you like to send to other individuals in the South Asian community who may be afraid to live their own truth due to this cultural and societal norms, or maybe struggling in silence? What do you have to say to them?
I would love to say that God forbid if you're scared to reach out to people, you're embarrassed to reach out to people, start meditating. I think meditation is the best thing by far. Start jogging, work out, because anything that you release off from your mind gives you actual time to think what you want to do. And sometimes write in your diary. I remember as a child, I used to make notes that if there were no computers, no phones. So I used to make my notes and then understand what is happening, what is not happening. And like I said, I was lucky to reach out to my parents. So try and find solace in somebody, where it could be your friend, your neighbor, mom, your sister, brother, whoever. Because I think by speaking it out, it makes you light. The dil halka ho jata hai. Because otherwise, sometimes that pressure aggravates you so much that you may take the wrong steps of going into drugs, antidepressant pills, or maybe, going to wrong company, because sometimes you cannot trust people because I've seen sometimes some people are so vicious that if they know that person is drowning, they push you even more instead of helping you come up. So I feel find the right path, but speak to yourself also. I think when you speak to yourself, your heart will somewhere down the line tell you what to do. And you are what you are. You're your own prized possession. Feel that for yourself. Don't feel like there's something negative about you, or you're being rejected, or maybe me ye kami hai. I know Indian societies come up with that whole thing, if you're dark tum kali hai tum badsurat hai, ye teri shaadi nahi hogi. But I'm sorry, I've seen the best of kali looking girls having the most richest man to marry them, or whatever. So look at the good part of life, look at somebody's heart, the cleanliness of somebody's heart, and try and balance. See, life is not going to be like this all the day. It's always going to be like this for anybody and everybody, lifelong. So I think try to reach out to people more. If you can't reach out, write it in your diary or speak to yourself in the mirror. I always speak to myself in the mirror also at times. Sometimes people think I'm foolish, but I think when you talk to yourself also, for stress or emotions come or cry it out. I think by crying it out, you really make yourself feel lighter. There is nothing wrong in crying out. Even men cry, women cry, old people cry, young people cry. Because sometimes, emotions pile up and you feel choked up, and that is not a very good thing to do. So I feel, and in case if you have the ability or the capability to go and meet a psychiatrist or a professional, reach out to the right people. They will definitely guide you, and don't कि मेरे में ये कमी है. You understand? The minute you start putting yourself down, the world will put you down.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Before we wrap up, we have, so I am the president of one of the non-profits here where we are creating a community for engaging and empowering South Asian women. A lot of these women are makeup artists here in Texas.
Wow.
And I know that they would kill me if I will not ask this question, that what would be one advice you would want to give all these makeup artists out there? Like, what is one thing they must do and must take care of whenever they are doing professional makeup?
Okay, first of all, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Ojas Rajani. Anytime you have a problem, DM me, reach out to me. My email number is there, my WhatsApp number is there, and my Insta handle is OJASRAJANI. And secondly, I'd love to say that create your own niche. Don't blindly copy somebody else's style, because you may have your own independent individual style. Always, I think, manifest goodness, be positive, but always remember your client is always right. So do not be rude to the client, do not be moody with your client, do not snap at a client. I think when you play a hearing ear, talk less, work more, I think your work speaks volumes. And if you're a big nerd, if you're just, kind of hashing it out, try and develop your skills, put it all out there on social media. Today it's so easy for everybody that you make a good Instagram account, have good pictures or whatever, you get your work. Collaborate, right? Whether it's Bombay, London, Paris, New York, everybody collaborates. Call your neighbors, friends, relatives, some new influencers, or somebody who's pretty, or do challenging makeup, do before after makeovers. People will notice your work. Yeah, the minute you start doing this, work comes in a jiffy. So trust,
Yes.
believe in yourself, and magic only happens.
Oh my God. Believe in yourself, ladies, and the magic will happen. Go follow Ojas Rajani. Ojas, thank you so very much for sharing your incredible journey with us today.
Love.
It's been an absolute pleasure, to have you on the show to talk about your power of resilience, authenticity, and the importance of breaking boundaries. You have taught so many things to so many of us today. Thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to this episode of The Girl Next Door, जहां हम बातें करते हैं दिल से दिल तक, because here we are sharing stories, celebrating life. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from incredible South Asian trailblazers. Until then, guys, take care and keep inspiring.